And now we're live. And welcome. And we have Paul from Paul Beer Reviews this week on the interview. Introduce yourself, Paul.
Most of you will probably know if you're watching. I'm Paul. I'm from Paul's Beer Reviews, a little YouTube channel where I generally
That little. You have, what, 250,000 views, 2,000 subscribers.
It's doing all right. Yeah.
In 3 years. Is that 3?
I'll drink beer. I'll talk waffle about beer. I'll do a live stream every week and talk waffle with the rest of you lot. Yeah, there's not a lot.
You're being very modest now, I think.
I don't know any other way. I still don't recognise. I don't recognise the channel as a big one. If I'm honest, it's doing all right. I'm getting some views, which is nice.
Yeah, well, yeah. You're up there with some of the big ones. There's about 30 people in the UK who kind of you could class as beer tubers, and you'd be top 10, top 8.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Did you make me blush? You make me blush, Thomas. There's a lot out there all of a sudden, isn't there? There seems to be quite a few all of a sudden. So yeah.
Yeah, you do. But do you have like someone like Scott and Wanda who started that beer? I hope they don't mind me saying, but they've kind of changed now to more different things, trying things, and changed the channel 360. I think.
Yeah. They've kind of gone down the food route, and they do lots of like fun stuff, which is wicked. I think they're probably going to get more views through that. They've expanded.
It's hard to do the beer thing, especially getting up and working or whatever. Some people mightn't just want, because I don't think Wanda drinks that amount. She's happy to record a video with Scott. I hate to be talking with someone else, but I suppose, did you think the lockdown helped your channel?
Oh, massively. I mean, this time last year, I had about 300, 400 subscribers, something like that. So, yeah, if it weren't for the lockdown, I don't think the channel would have expanded the way it has, definitely. I think people are drinking beer from home, aren't they? Because we haven't really had a choice. So,
yeah, and they want someone that kind of mate down the pub that you probably don't bump into other than the pub.
Yeah.
Someone to have a chat would, someone to have a drink would.
Yeah, it's how I started. I was just kind of getting into different beers, and I was seeing different beers on the shelves in stores and sort of thinking, I wonder what that's like. I wonder what that's like. But rather than picking up and buying it and drinking myself, I sort of go on YouTube and see if there was any information about it. And then I found out there were beer reviewers. I didn't know this was a thing. After I found out there were people actually talking about the beer, and I thought, wow, So I started watching them, and then I started buying beers on different people's recommendations. But yeah, I just thought that the information they were giving wasn't always enough. So I then tried to do a channel and review beers and trying to give people the information that I was looking for.
Who would have been the reviewers, we say, when you started looking? I know Simon was there when I started looking around, and
yeah,
as the main person.
Yeah, Simon was probably the first one I ever saw. There was also Beer Goggles, his beer reviews. I don't think he does videos anymore. I don't know if he.
No, I don't think. I couldn't find him anyhow when I was looking for people. That's another video was coming up. I was trying to look for different beer reviewers.
Yeah. Beer Goggles and Simon at the Real Ad Guide were the first two I ever saw, and I thought they were great. And then I just thought I'd start doing it. Just with that a little bit of extra information, because they were reviewing beers, and sometimes they'd tell you how good the beers were, but they wouldn't always tell you where they got it from or how much they were paying for it. And that was the information I really wanted, because I wanted to drink it, So yeah, so that was the factor that made me want to start doing it, because I love beer and I was drinking more and more different styles of beer, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning as I go.
Sure, everyone does, I think.
Yeah, it's a journey, isn't it? It's a journey.
What would your negative of YouTube be then?
What would my negative
What would
be?
your negative be of YouTube? Like, have you had any terrible comments? Have you had any?
No, not really. Not really. I stay up. You get the odd shitty comment every now and then. You know, someone will have a different opinion on a beer than you, which is totally fine. Some people will. I think that's just how people are. Some people will either say, I disagree. I didn't enjoy that beer, or I quite like that beer. Other people will rather come on and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You're crap at reviewing beers. I've had the odd comment like that, and I'm just like, okay, that's just how people are. You get some people that are good about it, and you get some people that just lash out. That's how people are. That's the only negative, is having to deal with perhaps people who are having a bad day, and rather than kind of look at something and turn it off, they'll leave a sarky comment. But it doesn't happen very often. But other than that, it's great.
Yeah. Do you think it has helped you through the lockdown, or personally, like?
Has it helped me personally?
Yeah.
No, not really. Not really. I would much rather be out. You know,
the lockdown's happening. I don't mean that. I mean, has it helped you get through the lockdown or get through?
Oh, yeah, massively. Yeah, if I didn't have this, I would have been a hell of a lot more miserable. Definitely, because I'd like to interact. I like to talk to people like yourself. You know, this getting to know people, getting to recognise faces and names and people who interact with the channel has been incredible. It's been incredible. That's the best thing that's come of it. That's the best thing that's come of it. Getting to interact with people and getting to familiarise yourself with people's attitudes and personalities. And I've met some wicked people with it. I mean, we've got Scott and Wonders. They've got comments in there. Brilliant people. Met them. Went down to Portsmouth and met them last year. Absolutely wonderful couple. And John from Lord's Brewing, I met him. Incredible guy. Absolutely wonderful people that I would never have met if it wasn't for this. So in that aspect, I've been extremely lucky. It's opened up a whole other chapter to my life. So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I suppose Alan and Fiona from Spice and Easy too. The Fab show.
Yeah, of course. That's another one. So I haven't actually met them in person. They can't wait to do it, but I've only ever seen their faces on a screen. It's like yourself. I've never met you in person.
No.
You see the face on the screen, so it's going to be really weird when we eventually meet each other, because it's going to be like, you're a TV star. You know, that's how it was. Like when I first met Scott and Wonder, I was sitting with them in their garden. It was just the most surreal thing, because I was looking at Scott and I'm just like, I need to have a frame around you. Right, you know what I mean? It was really odd, but very, very cool.
Yeah, I suppose when I get through some of these cupboards, I'm terrible at cupboards.
Oh, me too.
I feel.
I'm on that. I feel I must add that.
Porter, you have to have it. So again.
All the gingers.
Yeah, managing these live streams and the comments, I'm terrible.
Top 5. Blimey, I'll take that.
I know, I forgot to say hi. Hi, Scott. Hi, Wanda.
Definitely. So, boy, Scott. Wanda doesn't drink at all.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about there, but I suppose.
Excuse me.
So, are you still drinking is it Goose Island, was it?
I was drinking, yeah. I was drinking.
I
was drinking the Golden Goose earlier. I've gone through. That's a good lager, that. I'll tell us a funny story. Scott will love this. I was trying to get the Cabbage Cream Egg beer. Couldn't get it, so I ordered a few of these whilst I was there, and I haven't stopped drinking it since. I love it. Now I've realised Morrison's are selling it. It's a really good lager. Really, really enjoying it. Well, I'm onto the black stuff. Onto the dark stuff now.
there's a good few channels out there that you just see are completely dead. I suppose people just life changes.
There's all these names that are coming up. So we've got Phil Smith.
Yeah.
He's always there. He's always there on the live on the Saturday. Shark Home Brewing in California, always there. See, I'm talking to people in the world. That's incredible. You know,
especially since the live with that Scott Munley done Phil or for Shark Home Brewing. This Kevin, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, lovely guy. We've had him on the Saturday a couple of times now. Lovely guy. Loves his beer. Brews his own beer, obviously.
Yeah. Do you actually brew yourself, or?
No. I've never brewed a beer in my life. I'd love to do it. That's another thing. It's just like, I don't know I ain't really got a clue what I'm talking about. I just really like drinking beer, you know. So I've never brewed a beer in my life. I'd love to. I would love to.
Sorry if I'm just clicking in the comments now.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, meeting people you've watched is odd. It's the oddest thing. It really is.
I think that's the last one. Doug.
You caught up. Good start.
Where do you think your channel is going?
To the top.
Yeah, no, more than that
now. This time next year, I'll be the biggest beer channel in the world. No, I don't know. I don't know where it's going. It's doing well. I don't want to. I dare not set targets or start saying that I'm going to hit this, I'm going to hit that, because.
Yeah, but rather than hit things, would you like to achieve things like do?
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean,
the breweries, promote channels, something like that. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, this year, now when lockdown finally ends and things go back to normal, I want to get out. I want to be shooting on location. Want to go to breweries. Want to do brewery tours. We want to go to different bars and venues that are really kind of promoting craft beer and things like that. Not just craft beer, just beer in general. John from Lords, we're planning on doing something called Beery Adventures, where we're gonna kind of do days out. Might even be weekends. It might be weeks. It might get that messy. Where we're planning on going out, going to breweries, going to bars, things like that, up and down the country. Just really cool places where we can drink beer and have a laugh, and just show people other things that we got up and down the country. And we might even go international. It might even go international when we get some money. So yeah, but I've got a lot of plans for it. I don't want to be stuck in this room all the time. I think that's the main plan, is for the channel, is to get out and change the content a little bit. But it's all going to be surrounding beer and hopefully getting as many of you people involved as we possibly can. So yeah, branching out is what I want this channel to do.
Do you watch other channels yourself, other than like taking part actually in the stream, or being live? Do you watch reviews? Do you watch?
Yeah. I still watch Simon's. I still watch Scott and Wonders. I still watch Dean's beer reviews. I still watch All the Beer No Idea with Barry. I watch Chris's beer reviews. Relatively new channel, but he's a really good beer reviewer. The Beer Dog, Chris the Beer Dog. You know the Beer Dog. Yeah. There's a good half a dozen channels or so that I still watch. Watching what everyone's drinking, seeing what people are saying is good or not. I'm the same as I was before I started. I want to know what other people are drinking and whether it's any good or not. I haven't really changed in that sense. So yeah, I watch too many YouTube channels, if I'm honest.
Apart from say beer, what would you watch on television, or not television, like would you Netflix or?
Yeah, I watch it. Yeah, on YouTube, I watch a lot of guitar-based stuff because I really like my music. So there's a couple of guys who review guitar tech. Lee Armitage is another one. I watch his channel.
Yeah,
guitar gets all the tech in. I watch a few American guys like that. They get guitars in, review guitars, the tech and all that goes into it. I love my music. I watch some football-based ones. What else do I watch? Woodwork stuff, which is a bit random. There's people who do incredible things with wood.
Yeah.
they'll take a log and just turn it into like a beer tankard, like the most beautiful beer tankard you've ever seen in your life. There's some incredible stuff out there. On telly, yeah, watch a lot of Netflix. I love Family Guy. I love comedies. I love a good sitcom. You know, obviously I love me football. I like watching a good film. Yeah, I watch all sorts of stuff, man. All sorts.
Yeah, so we'll get back on with his comments. Get a lost.
Weed reviews, that might be a good one.
Would you support the legalization of weed, or
Sorry?
would you support the legalization of weed?
I wouldn't have an issue with it. I think there's quite obvious there's medicinal benefits to it, so I don't see why it should be illegal anymore, to be honest with you.
Especially when it's everywhere.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? On the NHS, I think they charge an absolute fortune for people that really need it, when you could go around the corner and get it off someone and pay a fraction of that. So it's a bit silly that it's illegal for me. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. How would a friend of yours describe you in 3 words?
Christ. God, I don't know. Honest. 3 words, Jesus. Honest. Let's get these questions from. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Honest. Sexy. Hilarious. There you go.
Definitely.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
First beer, then.
I'll have to ask Abby. Sharks just said I'll have to ask Abby. I'll text her. I'll text her now. Ask her what she says.
She's working, is she, today?
No, she's upstairs watching telly. She's staying out of the way. I'm going to do this. Describe me. Let's see what she says. We'll give that a minute. I dread to think.
First beer. I know you did it on the lives.
Yeah, first beer I ever drank was Newcastle Brown Ale. That's the first beer I ever drank. I'll say about 9. It was at my parents' anniversary party, and a big ass party. There was loads of people around, and my dad had a few, and he put a can of Newcastle Brown Ale in front of me. He goes, "Here, son, drink that," and I did, and that was the first beer I ever had. And I don't think I drank beer for a long time after that. It put me off for a little while, to be honest. But but other than that, it was always lager. So yeah, Newcastle Brown and then lager. Probably Foster's was probably the first beer that I drank on a regular basis. So that's where it all started. What about you? What's the first beer you ever had?
It would be Smithwick's.
Was it?
Yeah.
Blimey.
So I probably come from a house my mother or father never drank.
Right.
So I live in the country, wouldn't have been in a pub. God, I'd say it was really old. I'd say it could have been 15, 16.
Blimey. Wow. Weird, isn't it, when you think back to that? You think, what was I drinking back then? Why did I do that?
Well, it's probably Heineken or Budweiser, kind of. That's up to the end of college. That's what I was kind of drinking.
Yeah.
Just so lagers, basically. Cold, bland, just drink them, get them down you.
That's it. Exactly that. You didn't care what it tasted like, did you? As long as it was cold, you got you pissed. That was all that mattered.
Yeah. It was about getting drunk as quick and fast as possible, and I suppose getting back to the cupboards. Best cupboard.
Best what?
Best cupboard.
Best comment.
Like you open your cupboards, and some comment really cheered you up, or some comment that stands.
I think I've had some really good ones lately. I think when people have been reflecting on what's been going on, in the last 12 months, I've had some really nice comments. People saying little things like how the live streams in particular have helped people really kind of get through what's been a really tricky time for everyone. Being able to come together and have a beer with someone. I couldn't.
Captain Tank one.
Yeah, I couldn't name a specific comment, but I've had some really nice comments just about what the channel has done for them, cheered them up and given them somewhere to drink and an outlet, and that's awesome. When people could come leave a comment like that, I think that's pretty incredible. They're the ones you remember. If you're having a positive impact on someone, it doesn't get better than that, So they're the ones you remember. They're the best ones. But I've had a few like that, and it's awesome. It really is cool.
I think you said in some of your videos that you're a gardener. I just wondered how you got into it.
How I got into what? Sorry.
You said you're a gardener, weren't you?
Oh God, yeah. My dad. Yeah, my dad was a gardener. So when I left school, I started doing a bit of work with him, and then I went and did some studying. Got a few qualifications in it, and then I worked with him for a few years, and then he retired, and I started up my own business, and it was just that's just. I'm an outdoor person. I don't like being. I couldn't work indoors for a living. It does my head in. I can't be indoors for too long. So yeah, I've always been out. Even when I was young, I was always out in the garden, running around the garden when I was little. So my dad was a gardener, so I basically just copied him, I guess. So easy really.
Do you think you'd have more followers or more success if you had a garden show?
That's a good question. Maybe. I think it's less of a niche subject, isn't it? I guess you're more likely to have people that want to know what they want to do with their garden than what beer they should be drinking, I suppose. Possibly, but maybe I would, but I don't feel I'd be as comfortable talking about gardening on camera as I would sitting here talking about beer. I think you have to, as much as I enjoy gardening, I do also see it as a job. That's my living, whereas this is still fun for me. And if something
between work and a kind of hobby.
Yeah, that's it. I go out and I go gardening all day, and then I'll come home to one of these. This is my relaxing time. This is my time. This is my chill time. There's no pressure with this, which is how I want it to stay. I don't want any pressure off of this. I don't really want my channel to get to the point where I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Everything I do with the channel is still very much just out of my love for it and enjoyment for it. That as long may that continue. Do a beer review whilst gardening. So as long as the customers are out, I'll do it. As long as they're not in, they can't see me swigging a beer at the back of the garden. I'll do it. I'll do it, man.
What were you like in school?
A lazy twat most of the time. Primary school, I loved it. Loved primary school. It was great. Secondary school was a little bit difficult. I didn't enjoy school much. I was bored at school. It didn't.
You're an outdoor
sorry?
Kind of person that wouldn't suit.
It's just like it was. I think even then it was that being stuck indoors and learning stuff that I wasn't interested in. I lost interest very quickly, and because I lost interest, I just couldn't be bothered to do the work. So I mean, I did all right in the end, like exams and things like that. My attendance was good, but I was more interested in being outside. I was quite sporty when I was at school. I was happy if I had a football at my feet. Yeah. That was when I was happiest at school. I love PE. I love playing football. I love doing sports, rugby, and all that. When I was in a classroom, I was bored. I wasn't interested, and I wouldn't do my homework. As soon as I left school, as soon as I jumped on the bus and got home, that was it, man. I was done. I wasn't doing homework. and I get put in loads of detentions because I didn't do my homework, and then I wouldn't go to those. So they try and put me in after school detentions, and then I wouldn't go to those. So a lot of teachers gave up on me, to be honest with you. But I still kept coming to school, did all my exams, and I was all right. But yeah, I was just bored. I was bored at school. I was interested in other things. So that's that, really.
I suppose moving away from that, I suppose how do you think the beer industry or bars will recover post COVID-19, especially the craft ones? You know,
I think as long as they can, as long as they can get going. I mean, it's going to be hard to say, but if they can get going quickly, they can get money in the coffers nice and quickly where things open up. I think the craft breweries in particular will do better than they were before. Because I don't know about you, I've been ordering a lot of beer online during lockdown directly from brewers, and I think a lot of people have kind of got into that habit. I think there's a lot more people that are ordering their beer directly from brewers. People will have discovered bottle shops during lockdown and ordered from them. So if they've made it this far, if these bottle shops and tap rooms and craft brewers have made it this far, I think if they can just push on another few months, I think they're just going to thrive. I think they'll thrive because I think people's drinking habits are changing. I think people are more interested now in the sort of beer they're drinking. They don't just want to grab that crate of Carling. They want to look on the other side of the shelf and pick up the craft beers. And I think people are starting to remember, craft brewer names and things like that. So I think they'll be all right. I really will. I really will. If they can push through and make that money back quick, I reckon they'll be all right.
Do you think there'll be any hesitancy to go out, or people might just, if the weather gets fine, still stay at home in the garden, maybe a barbecue, get friends around and do it online order?
That's another good one. Again, I think a lot of people can't wait to get down the pub and see their mates. I think a lot of people like the idea of being in the garden and having mates round, but it's not always very feasible. It's not always practical having people out of your home, having people round in your garden and all that. There's not that many people that can have the space to do it. So if there's people who have the best of both, if people have got a big garden and somewhere where everyone to come round and drink beers, good luck to them. But I think the same people will be back in the pubs that were there before. And I think they'll be bigger. I think they'll be more popular. And I think the tap rooms in particular will do really well. Like the independent brewers bars, I think they'll do really well. Because like you say, people have got familiar with the names, they've got familiar with the beer. Yeah, man, I think bar gardens, tap room gardens, I think they're going to be really busy. I think they're just going to get bigger and bigger. I think people can't wait to get out there. I might be wrong, but I think generally people will be excited about getting back out there again. I am anyway.
First beer when you get back to a pub or a bar?
I want to go to the Mad Squirrel tap room, and I want to drink a pint of Hopfest, which is their gluten-free pale ale. I want that. I want a pint of that. It's just a beautiful pale ale. It's only like 3.8% ABV, that one, but I've never had a pale ale with more flavour in it than that. I could drink that all day. That's the first place I want to go. As soon as that opens, I'm going there and I'm going to drink that all afternoon.
What would you describe as a local brewery? How far?
Ooh, I think a local brewery, anything within about 20 miles. I think anything within about 20 miles of where you live, I think that can be classed as a local brewer, really. Any further than that, you'd say that's a different region, But if it's in your region or your county or whatever, I think that's a local brewer.
Would you expect money to go to the wall, or have money gone to the wall?
Well, it seems like a lot have gone to the wall, haven't they? I think a few more will, unfortunately, but let's hope not, eh? I hope not.
So is Matt's World favourite brewery?
One of them, definitely one of them. I've got a few favourite breweries. Arbor down in Bristol. That's one of my. I mean, they're not a local brewery, but they're just. I've never had a bad beer from them. Yeah, Arbor Ales down in Bristol. I love them. Mad Squirrel. They're my favourite local brewery. Who else do I really like? There's not many. There's not many consistently good breweries. There's lots of breweries that I've had good beers from. Lord's Brewing are another one. I've got to mention them because the only beer I've had from them is that I didn't like was the chocolate orange porter. That's the only one I didn't like. I've had so much slack off of that as well. But yeah, now Lord's Brewing, Arbor Ales, and Mad Squirrel. They're probably my top three breweries. All good craft brewers. Yeah, they're really good ones that I really like.
Do you think like someone like John's personality, someone that you can kind of contact or you can feel a part of the brewery is important?
Oh, massively. It's John contacted me a year ago, almost a year ago to the day. He contacted me and asked if he could send me some beers for reviewing, and I was only too happy to do it. But I think it's a shame that other breweries didn't do the same thing. But because John was proactive, he could have sat there and he could have watched his brewery go down the toilet, because that's what a lot of breweries have done. They've gone, and John could have sat there and done nothing, but he was proactive, and because he's such a decent bloke, you were happy to help. You were happy to talk to the guy. You were happy to communicate, because he wasn't just getting in contact to offer beer. We'd get chatting after a while. He'd call me. I'd give him his number, and we'd exchange messages about beers and the brewery and how things were going. And then he called me. I remember he called me, and I was at the pub when the pubs were still open. I was sitting in the pub garden having a pint, and he called me, and we chatted away for ages. And he's like, in that time, he's become one of my best mates. You know, and if you've got a good personality, you want to help them. You want to be a mate to them. You want to do what you can, and I think that goes for any brewery. If you're good people want to help you. I think that's what's helped Lords this year. I think John will tell you himself. He's spoken to a lot of good people in the last year that have really helped Lords, or done what they could to help Lords and try and push them through. But I say, if John wasn't a nice guy, it wouldn't have happened. So it's massively important. Yeah.
Yeah, I would never heard of Lords, and they're kind of just still kind of out class as a regional brewery in United Kingdom. Like, I wouldn't have heard them.
Yeah.
Up until I think Scotland Wanda got beer from them. I think you got them. Then good few the beer people got beers from them early on this time of year.
Yeah, no, he's so he was proactive. I'd never heard of him. I'd never heard of Lord's Brewing at that point. I just got a message from him on Instagram, and I was just like, I thought, who's this? You know, read it, responded, and that was that. You know, like I say, if any brewery would have contacted me, I'd have done the same thing. I'd have responded and said, yeah, sure. You know, I've spoken to other breweries, but none of them have gone as far as John has gone. None of them were that keen to get their beer out there to people as much as John and Lords were. And that's why they're still here now. That's why they're doing so well now. And that's why their reputation is growing. I mean, I would imagine Lords Brewing Company's reputation has probably grown quicker than most breweries in the country. So, yeah, that's all testament to John. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think there's any legislation or anything the government could do to help, say, small breweries or regional breweries?
Yeah, stop charging them so much bloody VAT for the beers for a start. Yeah, there's a lot the government could be doing. There's a lot more they could be doing. I don't know the ins and outs of charges, the VAT charges, on what the government put on beers and the pressure they put small breweries under. But I know it's way too much. I know they're not helping him. I mean, John will tell you. John's in here now leaving comments. I mean, John will tell you how little the government do to help our breweries in this country. They should be doing more. What they could do I'm not 100% sure, but give them a bit more of a chance. Make things a little bit cheaper. Make things a little bit easier for breweries to help, to help, push the brewery forward. Otherwise, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone.
Yeah. I suppose in the future, post-COVID, do you have any goals? First place you want to travel? I've got a free plane ticket in front of me for you. Where do you want to go?
If I had a plane ticket in front of me right now, I'd want to go to LA, see my brother. I haven't seen my brother in 2 years, and I was supposed to go see him last year for my honeymoon. Me and the wife were meant to go over there and see him, and we had to cancel it all. So yeah, if I could go anywhere right now, it would be Los Angeles, California. Go see my brother. Go see Kevin over at Shark Cone Brewing. Go see him. Get drunk together. That's where I'd go right now, definitely. But it's coming. It's coming. I'll be out there soon. We'll be out there soon.
Yeah. Places you've travelled. Favorite place you've travelled to.
Favorite place I've travelled to. First place that comes to mind is Scotland. I love Scotland. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. There's a place in Scotland up in the Highlands, right by Ben Nevis, called Fort William. And I stayed there for a week. I was camping in Fort William for a week, and that is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. And I was only about 14, 15 when I was there last. I'd love to go there again now, and get pissed on some really good Scottish beer. That's what I'd love to do, and then try and stagger up Ben Nevis. That'd be funny. Yeah, love Scotland. Beautiful country. I've been all over Scotland. It's a beautiful country, and if anyone's not been, I really recommend it. Stunning country.
You wonder a lot. Oh, first thing you buy.
What's that?
You wonder a lot. Oh, first thing you buy.
First thing I'd buy. Jesus. First thing I'd buy if I wanted, probably a house. A big house. Bloody big house. A big garage where I could fit all my cars. That'd be nice. And lots of beer. Big house, and I could fit lots of beer in it. That'd probably be the first thing I'd buy.
I suppose then dream car.
Dream car is a 1967 Mustang Shelby GT 500. That's my dream car. Quite specific. Or Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. If you've seen that film, that's my dream car.
Current car.
Volkswagen Golf GTD.
Any points to the license?
No, not yet. Give it time.
Sorry, but just a bunch of comments. I'll put them up.
They are there. I'll do that. We'll sleep in the truck. I don't mind. That'd be quite nice. A few beers, looking at the stars. I'll take that, Kev. I'll take that. What about you, Thomas? What about you? What do you drive? Do you drive?
I do, yeah. It's a Fiesta at the moment. Opel Fiesta. Sorry, piece of rubbish, but gets around.
Gets you from A to B.
Yeah.
And if you could go anywhere, where's the first place you would travel in the world right now?
South Korea.
Where?
South Korea.
Oh wow. Okay. What about South Korea? What makes you want to go South Korea?
I was out there about, I think it was 13 years ago. Really liked the country. Like to go back.
Awesome. Is that the best place you've ever been?
Yeah, I haven't travelled too much now, but
I've not travelled a lot either, really. So I've been to Europe a few times. Been up all over Britain. Yeah, I've not been to Ireland yet. I need to get to Ireland. I've never been there, but I need to get over there. But yeah, South Korea is an interesting one. I've not heard too many people say that. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a nice place, I think. They're friendly.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's where I'd like to go back to. But I don't know, could it ruin your, after being there once, maybe try somewhere else? Maybe leave a good impression, I don't know. What do you think of the interview?
What do I think of the interview?
Yeah, were you expecting these questions?
I feel like I'm very much on trial, to be honest. It's, no, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a laugh. But yeah, I've never had this many questions. Well, I don't think I've had this many questions thrown at me for a long time. But it's it's weird. They're good questions because you're making me explore parts of my brain that I haven't looked at for a long time. So it's probably quite good blowing a few cobwebs out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't answered one question. 3 words to describe you.
I still haven't done that one, have I?
No.
That takes me back. Abby said ginger, warm, as in like a radiator, and independent. They're the 3 words she came out with. Ginger, warm, and independent. And lots of laughing faces after that. She didn't know. Ginger, warm, and independent. There you go.
Interesting.
Ooh. The ginger one's a bit obvious. Could have used her imagination a little bit more. How would you describe yourself, Thomas? 3 words to describe you.
Introvert, loner, unknown.
Oh, blimey. They're all a bit negative, Thomas. All a bit negative. Introvert, loner. You're not a loner anymore, are you? How many people we got watching this, Thomas?
8, is it?
There you go. There's these 8 people here that are here for you. So there you go.
They're not real. That's not real.
They're all real people. They're all real people. Everyone's showing love for Thomas. So there you go.
When have you been most afraid?
When I've been most afraid. Oh God. I don't know. When have I been most afraid? That's a really good question. I can't remember being afraid, really. Without trying to sound like a big man. I don't afraid. I get afraid when Spurs play Arsenal because I can't lose to them. I get afraid every time there's a North London derby, but
that's not real.
Nah, it's not really. It's not really. Nah, I can't think of too many times I've been afraid. There's a couple of times with a bit of anxiety, been a bit anxious. You know, perhaps if work's been a bit quiet and you're worried about paying the bills that month. There's that every now and then, but nah, fear isn't really something I've ever really. I don't think I've ever really dealt with. If I'm honest, I can't think of any. I honestly can't think of any examples of fear. What about you? Have you got any?
But you could ask me off stream. Last time you cried.
No, I can't think of any. I've had a few.
Well, move on to that then. Last time you've actually cried.
Oh, blimey, that's a good one as well. Last time I cried.
You're not answered.
I'm trying to think. It must have been. I think I watched a. What did I watch? I watched a film that made me go. Oh, I watched 1917. Have you seen that film?
I think so, yeah.
1917, Sam Mendes film, World War One film. At the end of that, I wouldn't say I cried, but my eyes welled up a little bit. If anyone's seen that film, I'll tell you what, the end of it. You watch the end of that, and you tell me you don't get a little bit emotional. Bloody good film, that. Bloody good film. But yeah, I can't remember the last time I had a good cry. I'm hard to work out. Do you know what I mean? I don't cry.
Happiest moment of your life.
Happiest moment of my life.
Yeah.
Probably marrying my wife. Probably marrying Abby. We were lucky we got married last September, and we were very lucky because we planned it all. It was all in place, and we didn't think it was going to go ahead because of lockdown. Everything kicked off, and then it got to the time when we were able to have 30 people be at the service. That was a pretty amazing day. It went like that. I mean, anyone who's married had a wedding day, they'll tell you. John was telling me. I spoke to John the day before, and he told me try and take a minute, like to yourself, at some point during the day, just to kind of take it in. And I took that on board, and it was true, man. The day flew by, but I was really happy. It was a really, really nice day. So that's the first one that comes to mind with marrying Abby. I see Kevin's comment at the bottom. Yeah, I'll live another day with that answer. Abby won't kill me tonight. I'll be all right. Yeah, that was a good day. That was a really good day.
Favorite childhood memory?
Oh, favorite childhood memory. God, blimey. Probably seeing Spurs win the FA Cup in 1991. That was good. I was 7 when I saw Spurs win a trophy. That was pretty amazing. That's kind of what inspired me to get into football. I remember being unbelievably happy to seeing Tottenham win a trophy. I was only little then, and we've hardly done it since then either. So that's the first one that comes to mind. Seeing Spurs win a trophy when I was young. There's loads of others. Holidays with the family, things like that. You know. What about you?
Can't really put anything. This is more about you. I'm asking the questions. You accepted this. You're the one.
These are hard questions, Thomas. Put you on the spot, mate. Put you on the spot.
Worst memory from childhood, if you have one.
Worst.
Favorite.
I remember my mate picked up a massive spider, and he put it down my shirt, and I couldn't get it out. And I was on my bike, and I cycled home as fast as I could. And then I don't know. I think that was probably the last time I was scared. Actually, I was only about 8 or 9 then. My mate picked up this massive spider. I say he's my mate, bit of a dick. He picked up a massive spider, put it down my t-shirt, and rather than just like try and get the spider out, I thought if I get on my bike and ride as fast as I can, perhaps the spider will disappear. Yeah, I remember that. That pissed me off for a long time. That did, the spider going down my shirt. But other than that, worst childhood memory. That was a bad one. I fell off a wall once day, basically sliced the side of my leg open. That weren't very nice. I had to go to hospital, have stitches. Remember stitches? Remember they used to do them? Nowadays they just pull it all together, don't they, with the sticky bits? Yeah. Falling off a wall and tearing my leg in half. That weren't very nice.
You haven't broken any bones, or?
I broke my leg when I was really young. I broke my femur, big thigh bone. I broke that when I was really young. But luckily, it was so young that it healed in no time at all. But yeah.
Yeah, I broke my arm in 2 places.
Oh shit! How long ago did you do that?
I think it was 5 or 6. So.
Oh, that's all right. They're fixed like that, aren't they? When you're young, that's the best time to do it.
Can't remember.
That's the best way. Nowadays, if you fall over, it bloody hurts, doesn't it? You know.
It hurts just getting up from a seat nowadays.
Getting out of bed takes you about half an hour. That is not good.
Suppose any dreams or goals? Last question. We're 40 minutes in? I've asked you so many questions.
It's been a few, isn't there? It's been good though. Dreams or goals? I really want to buy a house with my wife. We want a bigger house. At the moment, we rent. It's not big enough, really. It does the job, but it's not big enough. We really want to buy a house. That is probably our main goal at the moment. Buy a bigger house, and and then start having a family. That's the biggest goal. Expanding my business. I've got a lot of things to kind of be positive about. A lot of things to focus on. I've got my business. I've got this channel. Hopefully that'll keep getting bigger and people keep enjoying what I'm doing. And we'll see. But I'm quite ambitious. But yeah, business, work, the channel, and buying a house with Abby. That'd be pretty sweet.
How do you think the political situation is in the UK?
Pretty fucked.
So,
I don't.
From the outside, you've handled, I think, the vaccination pretty well.
Yeah. I don't think anyone can have a go at the government for the way that's been dealt with, because it's unprecedented, isn't it? You know, no one's ever seen anything like this, not in our generation anyway. It's easy to point the finger. It's easy to say, "Oh, you should have done this, you should have done that," but no one knows. So I got no problem with Boris Johnson or the Conservative government and the way they've handled it. You know, it's Labour's job to slag off everything the Conservative government do, and it's the Conservative government's job to slag off everything the Labour government do. But I think if you really look at it, the government have coughed up a shit ton of money to furlough millions of people up and down the country. They've got this vaccination. Well, I say they've got the vaccination. They've funded getting this vaccination sorted in a pretty incredible amount of time. Generally, I don't like government. Generally, I think politicians are full of it. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. But with their response to the situation we're in, I don't think it's been terrible. I don't think it's been great, but what would have been great? You know, I feel a bit bad for. We spoke earlier about the bars and pubs and all that, and the beer industry. I think they could have been a little bit better with that. I think the way that they were kind of hung out to dry wasn't great. I don't think the way they did that was well handled. But hopefully they won't do it again. You know, so
from an outside, do you think there is an opposition? Because I think the Labour Party in the UK are non-existent. Because I partially follow the UK politics. It affects Ireland, what people in the UK spend, affects us.
Yeah.
Buy a lot of stuff off us. I don't think there is a Labour Party, personally. I don't know who the Labour Party leader is at the moment in the UK. I could normally name the person.
No, I can't.
Jeremy Corbyn's gone, even though I thought he'd never get into Downing Street.
Yeah, I couldn't name him. I don't know the name of the guy who runs it. I don't care.
I think I can kind of see him in my pictures, but I can't name him.
Yeah, no, I don't know his name either. The geezer who's in charge.
So yeah, that's not good. Like if you have one.
No, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. If you're supposed to be a political leader, you think people would know who you are. I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Thomas. I think you're absolutely right. If people don't know who you are, I think that says it all. Because people should know who you are. If you're a leader, you should be saying stuff that people remember. People should remember your name. See, Chris has just put the answer in, Keir Starmer. Now he said it, I recognise the name, Keir Starmer. But what's he ever done? What's he ever done? What's he said that makes you want to follow him?
I think the problem is, have they gone so far left? They just can't. They have to bow. Like I think I seen something today. One of the Man United, I think it was the youth players or something. He said after winning the match, "Oh, I hope I get Liverpool in the next round. If we win, I want to rub it in their faces." And he had to issue an apology for rubbing it in their faces. Yeah. Like, what's that about? He's probably 17, I don't know what age he is. He's really young. He's after winning the match. And he says, "Oh, I'd love to get Liverpool next round and win and rub it in their faces."
Being honest.
How is that going to... Why are you issuing an apology about that? It's football.
They say the world's gone mad. The world's gone mad. We're so... I mean, do you call it leftist? Do you call it liberalism? Or do you just call it being a bit of a pussy? Do you know what I mean? It's like, why is everyone so offended by everything all of a sudden? When did we become such a... I don't know. When did people become so whiny? Why are we so offended by stuff all the time now? I don't get it. It's like, if you don't like something, turn it off.
Yeah.
If you don't want to hear something, turn it off. If you don't want to read something, don't read it. You know, it's like people who watch the BBC News and Sky News and ITV News and then moan about it. It's like, what do you think is going to happen? Like the media networks all have their own political agenda, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
The news you see on TV isn't the news. The news that you see on TV is what they want to tell you. It's what their agenda suits. It's what suits their agenda. They'll tell you what suits their agenda. They won't tell you as it really is because it could harm their agenda. So if you don't like what they're telling you, turn it off. If you disagree with it or it offends you, turn it off. Don't bitch about it because who cares? You know, you don't have to be offended by everything. Just turn it off. Go watch something else. You know, that's what bothers me. We're all so offended. Everyone seems so offended by everything, and people just go on social media and spew out all their distaste and hate on everything, and it's really sad. I just it does my head in. Really does my head in.
I suppose, what do you think? I think you mentioned about this Coca-Cola be less white, Gillette. I think had some other thing.
Yeah, I saw the Coca-Cola one. Be less white. How's that not racist? How's that not racist against white people?
If that had to be more, if let's say in America, that had to be, let's be more urban, which I think in America is another fact for big black.
Yeah, but if you imagine if a company like that had said something, they released like a package to their staff that said "be less black." Could you imagine the uproar within the media, within the black community, and rightly so, by the way. But we just put up with it. It's like if you can't. It almost seems as though if you're black or any other colour than white, you can't possibly be racist. Apparently, white people are the only people that could be racist. If you're a white man in today's society, you are the scum of the earth. And it's not fair. It's totally not fair because a lot of us are actually decent people, you know. So it's the whole media agenda. It's very anti-white. It's very anti-male whites in particular. But you just have to ignore it. You just have to ignore it. I think you just got to get on with your own life and be happy because you can make yourself really miserable. I think worrying about politics, worrying about the news. You just got to make your own decisions. If there's something that you have a negative view on, get away from it. Get yourself away from it and focus on something more positive. You know.
Do you think there is racism in you? I come from a middle country. I can say it's probably 99 or 100% white. Do you think? I know you come from London. Is there racism? Do you think systemic or? You know, you'll always get the few. I know they'll come from the kind of nationalistic ideal, but do you think
there are individuals? I mean, systematic. Is that the word? Systematic racism. Possibly, it's possibly there. A lot of these big companies and things like that are owned by old white money, right? So it's possible. It's possible that there's systematic racism that they call it, but I don't know.
Well, speaking to friends, I don't know. Would you think it's in? Say you work with people every day in different areas.
Yeah, I see people. I've grown up with people from all different backgrounds. My daughter is mixed race. You know, it's never been an issue with me. I've grown up with black people. I consider myself lucky to have been in that position. You know, so racism to me is, I ain't got time for it. I have no time for it. It's out there. I know it's out there, but I've tried to stay away from it. I've seen it, but I've chosen to stay away from it because I don't want it. It's the negative thing. If there are people out there who are genuinely offended by the color of someone else's skin, they're fucked up. That's their problem. That's their problem. Do you know what I mean? There's no accounting for that. If someone has an issue with other people's skin color, that for me is a disability. There's something wrong with you. You know, it just if you cut us open, we all bleed the same color, right?
But do you think they will complain about the person who's black down there, but if they score a goal for their team and
Exactly. We all want our footballers to score our goals. We don't care what colour they are then, do we? But like I say, the media don't help. The media don't help. They drum it. They drum it into us. You know that it's we've all got to be quiet. We've all got to do more. I was like, what more do we need to do? You know, what more do we need to do? Black people were vilified years ago. You know, we know all about the slave trade and we know all stuff about that. But that was a long time ago, and I think we moved on from that. But if the media didn't keep thrusting it down our throats, I think we'd let it die. I think we could let it die and move on from it. But it seems like there's people out there who seem to make it their life quest to keep ramming it down our throats and reminding us. And I think that creates divisions. But if you move on with your life and just look at the positives and to see one another as brothers and sisters, what's the issue? What's the issue? You know, it doesn't make sense. I've always said it. If you cut us open, we all bleed red. I don't care what colour you are. I don't care if you're white, black, whatever. An arsehole's an arsehole. Doesn't matter what colour you are. But
what do you think if I was a young black person in, I don't know what, if there's so-called bad areas in London, would I have the same chance as a white person from a dismantled area?
I'd like to think so. I couldn't say for sure, but I'd like to think so. So growing up where I grow up, you see people from all sorts of different ethnic backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, working in the same environments as people like myself. So, I mean, I've grown up in a relatively multicultural area, so I consider myself lucky. I don't. I mean, you hear all the stories that you know, black people of black ethnicity have less opportunities. Personally, I've never seen it. So it'd be difficult for me to comment on that. But you know, I'm not going to call people liars if they think they're getting less opportunities than perhaps they are. But I personally have never seen it.
I suppose over here with the media, I hate to bring this up now. There was, I think, a police officer killed someone in the UK. I think it was the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And it has been, men need to be taught, or boys need to be taught how to treat women. That's all the media has been going here,
Yeah.
I think.
I was talking about this with Abby earlier on, actually, because this case in particular really seems to have blown up, doesn't it? They really seem to be making a big point out of it. And I think it's because we had the International Women's Day the other day, didn't we? And for some reason, the media are suggesting that women are more outraged by this case than others. Yeah, they're not. They're not. Generally, it's still safe to walk on the streets around here. It's still okay.
Look, as a man, look, there are horrible men out there. And
Yes.
if I don't have any daughters, but I have nieces. And look, I would tell them, look, if you're walking home or they're still young, but like, I would, give them advice or whatever to listen to me.
You give your kids general advice, how to stay careful, how to stay on guard and look after yourself and things like that. But there's no accounting for psychos.
No.
Whoever did this to that woman is a psychopath. Okay, there's no accounting for that. Yeah, guy, the guy who we don't know if he did it yet. He's supposedly a copper, isn't he? The guy who supposedly has been arrested for it.
Until he's found guilty, he's innocent, and we have to be careful of.
Yeah, whoever does that to someone is a psychopath and should be hung up, as far as I'm concerned. There's no accounting for that. Though people like that have no place in society. They're not normal people.
No, he should go to prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And there are bad men out there.
You can't account for that behaviour, but you shouldn't live in fear. We shouldn't have to live in fear because generally people are good. And I won't change my opinion on that just because the media seem to think that I should. And that's another thing. I think the media are horrific nowadays. I think they're awful. I think they're awful at their job. They spew. I mean, is society so much worse now than it's ever been? Or is it because we've got more freedom to information that we think it is? That's another thing that I think, because we've got the internet at the touch of a hand. Does that make society worse, or is it just because we've got more access to information that we think it is? That's something else I think about. You know, you can choose to, you can focus on the negatives that the media give you if you want, but I choose to focus on the positives. I choose to turn off the TV or turn off the radio and make my own mind up and talk to people. You know, I just, yeah, it's sad. What's happened to this woman is unbelievably sad, but she's not the last. She's not the first woman it's happened to, and she probably won't be the last. But it happens to guys as well. You know,
I'm sure probably say in the United Kingdom or Ireland tonight, something will happen to someone tonight.
Yeah, that's the sad truth.
Yeah,
that's the sad truth. There's a lot of horrible people out there, but there's more good people.
Yeah,
I'd rather focus on that. You know?
So we'll get off that and
question time.
I think that's enough questions. So I just think
that's good. That's good. I can relax now. I can relax and enjoy the beer. Enjoy the beer. God, dear. What's everyone saying in the comments? Let's
see. You have to put it up, Bill.
Yeah, I don't want to be Prime Minister, Christ, because everyone will hate me. But yeah, I just think government lack that common sense. We're so quick to feel sorry for people when they moan, rather than kind of, you know, look at the bigger picture. I don't know.
I think once you get into that bubble, you're surrounded by civil servants.
What do you reckon, Thomas, to the Meghan Markle thing with Oprah the other day? What do you reckon to that? What's your
I've only seen clips of the interview, but if someone said to me, your child is going to be coloured, we have a problem, I'd probably tell them to fuck up, and I wouldn't go to my wife who's, 5-6 months pregnant. I tell them, oh, by the way, whoever said it, because it's probably the grandfather or uncle or, you know, that there's talks about what our child's colour is going to be.
It was Philip, wasn't it?
It probably was, or it was.
But the guy's like 98 years old, man. Do you know what I mean? Different generation. You don't know any better.
I think there's people behind the royal family who, you know, help the royal family, and it could be one of them. I'm not sure. That's my opinion. And there was always going to be talks on the colour of the skin and what the media were going to say about it.
Mm.
You can't be stupid about that. No. That's one thing that the tabloid papers in the UK would get onto, because they've turned against Meghan Markle very early.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. But what's worse?
I'm drinking that one. People are asking what we're drinking. What are you drinking, Tom? I'm on the
Aldi.
Oh, nice. Any good?
Yeah, nice and cheap.
That's what it matters. As long as we're drinking good beer, having a laugh.
Did you watch it? The interview or?
Nah, could be bothered. I think as soon as it became sort of knowledge that Meghan and Harry had a bit of an issue with the family, I was waiting for the race card to be thrown. To be honest with you, I knew it was coming. I didn't know in what way it was going to be thrown, but you knew it was going to get thrown. So I think it was predictable. Whether she's lying or not, I don't know. But one thing's for sure, they made a shit ton of cash off of it. That's the thing that bothers me. Is that Harry and Meghan have kind of left the UK and they abandoned their responsibilities within the royal family. Said they wanted a quieter life, right? That's what they said. They wanted a quieter life. So what do? Go on Oprah or do an interview? That's not the quiet life, is it?
No.
You know, seems a bit hypocritical, I think, personally, but there you go. Mad Squirrel at Ribes. Yeah, Abby loved that. She's done a few of them last weekend. She wanted more. She didn't even give me a taste. She wouldn't let me anywhere near it, Chris. Wasn't getting a look at that one.
That was the sour, wasn't it?
Yeah, blackcurrant.
Yeah,
Blackcurrant.
that looks nice.
Smelled nice. She let me sniff it, and that was it. That was it. Oh, good shout. Good shout. Bit of peace. I think my idea. I'd love to live up in the mountains, like North America, Canada. I think that's the sort of place I'd like to retire and eventually die. Somewhere quiet where I could just be with nature. That'd be nice. Hollywood has quite rather large mouths out that way. Where's Vanessa? Whereabouts is Vanessa?
She is it Colombia? I'm used to it. I remember she told me where she was from. I think it's North America. She would probably put.
Are you celebrating 420, the 20th of April this year? Yeah, mate. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I sent a link down to people. If anyone wants to join, I think I sent it to Simo anyhow. I think he can chat. Not sure how long you want to stay on now, because I think we're an hour 10.
Deal. I was in Connecticut. Nice, nice. Lived there. You lived in Alaska for 5 years. How cool is that? That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Alaska, that's a hard place to live, I say.
Wild. Raw. That's how you want. That's how you want. Here we go. Simo, Vanessa, Josh. Simo, how's things? What's everyone drinking? Who's drinking?
No, it's fine. Like no one's drinking.
Got to be drinking. I need another beer just to get over all them questions. That was good though. That was good though. Like I say, I feel like I feel like I've been sat there sitting opposite Piers Morgan or something. You know, just spilled me life story. I didn't cry though. I didn't cry. It didn't all come out. You know?
Well, yeah, sure. I just try to do something different. Everyone's trying different things to the channel and getting on people and asking them questions. I didn't see anyone doing that, so that's what I'm trying. Whether it'll work.
I like it. I like it. I saw the one you did with John last week as well. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, I have Brendan. He's another YouTuber in Ireland, and he's part of one of the beer clubs, homebrewing clubs. I think I have him last Friday of the month, 31st. And then I've got one that they said they'd come on. I have no date set for them yet. So
that'd be a good one. They've got a good story to tell. They've got a good story to tell.
Yeah, well, I think they were I think Dean did a live with them. That's the first and they were still under 100 at that time.
Yeah.
So it's probably 2.5 years I've the amount of information I know about them, and I've never talked to them, I've never met them. It's scary.
It's mad, isn't it? Simo's on the signature brew Sustain New England IPA. How's that one? Or is it New England Pale Ale? How's that, Simo? Any good? The Portland Live Music Club with loads of different bands. Oh, that sounds well good. Sounds really good. Yeah, Simo there. He just said they want to make the UK beer scene for concerts and festivals better. Definitely. Definitely. I'm so sick of going to festivals drinking Tuborg. What is that? You can't get Tuborg like anywhere else in the world. But every time I go to download, they're like, have a pint of Tuborg. Yeah. Really?
Most of them do deals with the venues or concerts, and that's the beer you're meant to be served. And
yeah, that's it. That's it. The only good festival I've had good beer is when Trooper first came out, and that's not even a good beer anymore. You know, it's when they first brought out Trooper. I made an ale by Robinson's. It was really good. It was a really good beer. I had a skin for that stuff, but that's gradually gone downhill. I agree with you, Simmer. I agree. We need some better beer there.
Yeah, anything you can get here is probably you go to the beers, probably Heineken or Carlsberg, or some of them have the venues. Just that's all they serve.
They've got their contracts.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on. I'm going to be on Sierra Nevada beers and Blue Moon beers tomorrow. Shark. What about you? What are you going to be drinking? It'll come out of a really good West Coast IPA or something. Can't get over here. Just to rub our noses in it. You know?
I have no idea. I don't know why I've been whatever in the press. That's what I'll be drinking tomorrow. It'll probably be a local brewery, probably O'Hara's or probably something.
Do it, man. I said we have like a general theme. There's a light theme to the pub on a Saturday afternoon, but I can't.
Yeah, even though I probably comment, I'm not always 100% there at 3 o'clock. I'm probably still doing stuff. So
exactly. Yeah, everyone's got their life. You know, I mean, I don't expect people to drop everything and come and have a beer with us at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But when people,
yeah, probably 3 o'clock, I'll probably stop and have a cup of tea, and I'll say hi everyone and all that, and see who's joining, what's going on.
Yeah, perfect. Now we always appreciate it. You're always there. You always drop in. You say hello. You always give your time. I can't ask for any more than that. Really, it's great. So this, like we said earlier, this is the coolest thing about this. Doing the YouTube thing is that I get to talk to people like you and people up and down the country.
How would two of us ever meet? Like that's
exactly. I would never be having this conversation with you. I'd have never seen your face. I wouldn't know who you are. It opened up a whole new chapter in everyone's lives. That's why it's so cool. You know, you've got the names here: Kevin, Shark Home Brewing, Phil Smith, Lee W. I've been talking with these guys for months now. You know, I've never met them, but I will do. I plan to. I've seen Kevin. I've seen Simo. You know, I still don't think I've seen Lee. I don't know what Lee looks like. Be good to see him. Phil Smith spoke with last week, which was brilliant. You know, Josh, yeah, it's brilliant. That's just why this thing is so cool. Talking to people that from up and down the country and around the world that otherwise we wouldn't have done. You know, I'll drink it out of a can, mate. I'm an animal.
So what time is it now? I think we'll wrap it up now in a couple of minutes. That's okay with you?
Cool. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I could chill and.
If anyone has any questions, what would the comments say?
Yeah. Any more brutal?
I probably won't read about.
Let's have them. Give us your deepest
questions.
Go for it. Steve's brewing slurp, man. Yeah. I'd love to do a home brew. I would love to brew a beer. I really would. One day I'll do it.
Is that a part of when you get your house? Bar, home brew, maybe set?
Well, I got a bit more space to work with. Yeah, that's one of the first things I want to do is brew a beer, and get something going. I don't think it'll be a regular thing, but I'd love to do a few. You know, maybe 2 or 3 beers a year. Do a dark one for the winter. You know, a good IPA or a pale ale for the summer. Something good.
Yeah, the kits are pretty easy to handle. I think.
Do you brew beer quite often, do you?
I don't do it in the winter. I have no way of the fermenting. The house can go from 5 degrees to minus. It's just impossible. No fermenting for a show. I do it in the summer.
You got to maintain the temperature. That makes a massive difference, I suppose.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it kills the yeast and just you can get that flavour off of it. You can taste that flavour off it if the temperature's gone up and down.
Yeah.
It's the same with kits. Some of the kits you can kind of get that kit taste off it. I can anyhow, but it's beer. You probably a pound, whatever, a bottle or something. That's what or even less for some of the kits.
Yeah.
Depends how much you short it. I would short some of them. So if they ask you to add 23 litres, I'd add 20 to try to get the ABV up.
What's the best beer? What's your most successful beer you've brewed?
I did a strawberry vanilla shake, but like that was mainly strawberries and lactose and loads of sugar. And that was about 8-9%.
Wow, bloody hell!
But like, I had 2 kilos of strawberries. So the sugar of them alone.
There was a sugar rush, and after 2 or 3 of them, you're off.
Do you call it a beer after that stage? The amount of lactose and strawberries I had.
It's a boozy.
It went some of the home brewing club pages on Facebook, and like, I think it was during the week, someone commented on it, someone else post, like, is this beer? Like, and I said, what's the beer taste like? Like, lager and a stout are completely different tastes. Like, what's the beer taste like? It's a rabbit hole when you go on these things.
I've just seen a comment here from Phil Smith. I can't believe you said you spoke to me last week. It was my face that bad. It was horrific, Phil. I haven't got it. It's ironed itself into my brain. I love the fact he picked up on that. Yeah, we might have seen it. We had Phil on last week. It was brilliant. It was.
Yeah.
I remember where it says Andover, isn't it? He lives in Andover, but he talks like he's from my neck of the woods. Doesn't make any sense. And then he was explaining that his wife is from around here, so now he copies her. Love it. Oi, oi. Slurpy Dave Bush's Brewery. I drank a banana beer last night. Didn't peel too well after. Hey! Good lad. Good lad. Love a dad joke. You love a dad joke. Oh, dear. Skirts walks into a pub, orders a beer in a mop. Love it. Love it. Good one. News just in that copper's been charged with kidnap. Is that a new one? Kidnap and murder. Oof, dear, oh dear.
You think the murder would go past the kidnap?
Been a murder. Oh, I don't know. Psycho. Psychopath. Really
yeah, something just click in someone's head. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just the guy was just not well. The guy's not well. I don't know. I mean, how do you explain it? How do you explain it? What's go through someone? I watch a lot of them documentaries on Netflix, you know, about like murderers, but they're never well, are they? They're never healthy individuals. They're never well people that
no, I think there's someone charged or sentenced here in Ireland today. He chopped his mother's head off with an axe, and seemingly he had psychiatric. So one psychiatrist said he wasn't sane, and the other said he was okay. There's something about drugs as well, or something with him, man.
Yeah.
So you don't know, like, but still.
It's not good. You never know. You never know what goes through people's minds. Hopefully we won't have to know. Hopefully we won't have to find out, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
Joe Wilkinson. Elvis Juice. I'm not a fan of Elvis Juice either.
No, I was never 100% on it, but
no, I never. I think Brewdog. I think Brewdog in general now. They're just not a good brewery anymore. I can't think of any of their beers that are regularly good. Their Punk IPA, they keep dropping the ABV on that.
There's so many versions of Punk now. I wouldn't even know so many of their IPA. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't think Brewdog are a good brewery anymore. I don't think they're good at all. I mean, their Jet Black Heart is probably one of the few consistent beers they have. But that's a better beer than that. That's a better beer than that. I stand by that. I don't think Brewdog are very good anymore. I try with them, but I think they're getting worse, if anything.
Yeah, I seen something come up on his Facebook. It was invest in Brewdog during the week. You know, the shares or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know why you would now.
Nah.
You're going to be no one. I understand the start of the AGMs and so much beer, but now I'd say you're no one. Like,
yeah, no,
they've sold out. I think.
Yeah, massively. The company's become huge, and the product, the main product, their core product, the beer, has gone downhill. So yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. And all the supermarkets seem really keen to get their stuff in still, which I don't get.
But I think I've heard a few people, especially in the UK, everyone knows the term IPA now. So if they come in and ask for craft, it's IPA. They probably know the term BrewDog. So that's what they're going off, I'd say, is brand loyalty. That's my...
You have to wonder. You do have to wonder what BrewDog are trying to do, where they're going, what their aims are. Because I don't think they're putting much into their beer, that's for sure. You've got to wonder what their plan is.
I suppose they're pumping out so much now. It's about getting volume and making so much. I don't know.
Yeah. It's all the profits. They're making that much money. They ain't got to worry about what they're knocking out. Oh, Josh. Whereabouts in the USA are you, buddy? Can see BrewDog.
Yeah.
Well, they were selling the BrewDog Punk IPA subs on the Beerwolf website, weren't they? And obviously Beerwolf is run by Heineken, but they haven't got it there anymore. You can't get it there anymore. So I wonder what's going on.
I thought did Scott Mondo do that one, or someone did it. I think a comparison and thought the one the sub was better. I thought there was a video there when Scott got the sub.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I never got it. I never got round to ordering it. I think when I got my sub, I went on the website to try and get one. I never got them. They haven't been back in. You go on the Beerwolf website, it'll tell you what's available and what's temporarily unavailable, but the BrewDog's gone. It's not there at all. And I think that's coming back. Yeah, totally agree, Phil. Much better breweries out there. It's in Virginia. Virginia. I was speaking to a brewery in Virginia last Saturday. Well, I've got the name. Got the name of the brewery. I will find the brewery.
Here, I'll be back 1 second.
The brewery in Virginia I was talking to. It will come to me. It will come to me. Bear with me, Josh. Jimmy bought the BrewDog Double Punk after the review. I really like that as well. That was good, actually, wasn't it? But that reminded me of the normal Punk IPA. The Double Punk tasted like the original Punk IPA used to taste. That is a good beer. That is a good beer. I would actually buy that one again. Just hoping they don't balls up the recipe and do what they've been doing with a lot of their other beers. Peggy walks into a pub, says, "Have you seen my brother?" Daniel said, "What's he look like?" Hey! Paul, what's your favourite beer recently drank? Favourite beer recently drank? Ooh. Have I reviewed any belters lately? Have I reviewed any? Let me have a look. I forget all the good ones I've had. I had Don Polo's Pecan Mud Stout a little while ago, which blew my mind. That was incredible. Noah, it's called. What else have I had? Really good. Mad Squirrel, their new double New England IPA was pretty good. I had a Pilsner from Lervig. That was fantastic. I'm going to say that's the best beer I've had. My favourite beer recently. It's simply called Pilsner. Pilsner by Lervig, Norwegian brewery. That Pilsner is beautiful. If you can get hold of that, I'd really recommend it. It's superb beer. It really is. Blue Ridge Brewery in Virginia. Wasn't that one. find the brewery. I will find them. I will find them. Not Vale Brewing, not Blue Ridge. Gloucester. Simo's there. Bloody hell, someone's on it. How do you remember that? Gloucester, yeah. John got them mixed up, ended up contacting American Brewery. Yeah, I was chatting to them. We got chatting.
I remember that, wasn't it?
That was so funny. They came on and started chatting with us. It was brilliant. And we were emailing each other. We've been emailing each other over the weekend. They said they're going to send us a load of merchandise and that, which is unbelievable. We got chatting. I kind of emailed them to apologise and say, look, we didn't mean to, we got the wrong brewery. But it ended up being really, really good. There we go. Sharks getting some beers from them. Fantastic. Yeah, Gloucester Brewery in Virginia. Really good people. They just came and started chatting with us. It was incredible. Completely by accident. But yeah, they were lovely. And like I say, we've been emailing and they're going to send over some merch and that. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, Gloucester Brewery in Virginia. So I really look forward to trying to get in some of their beers when I get over to the States at some time. But that's what I want to do. Help out breweries. Get them on the channel as well. We want to talk to breweries and get them to get involved. That would be cool. That's another thing I want to do with the channel. Is expose breweries, get their name out there a bit,
Yeah, someone goes to the United States or even exporters.
Yeah. So I want to travel, go to lots of different breweries, drink as much beer as I possibly could. That's what I want to do. Shoot on location a little bit more, get out. That's brilliant. Everyone else remembered Gloucester, and I completely forgot the name of the bloody brewery. Love that. Well done, Simmer. Well done, Shark.
What would be the best part of the UK for beer, say, for someone outside to go to?
Oh, wow.
I've heard of Leeds.
I've heard Leeds has got a good beer scene. I've heard Leeds are doing well in terms of beer. I don't know. To be honest, it's really varied because Bristol seems to have a lot of really good breweries at the moment down in the West Country. I've heard Manchester's got quite a good beer scene as well. But then obviously the Midlands, you've got loads in the Midlands. You've got Derbyshire and Thornbridge. I think maybe up in the northwest. I think there's probably up in the northwest is probably the main area. All the sort of the really good breweries seem to be coming out of at the moment. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, that seems to be where a lot of breweries are really their names seem to be popping up.
So you wouldn't promote London?
Again, there's some good breweries there. There are some good breweries in London that are popping up. In fact, there's some fantastic breweries in London. But it's I don't think it doesn't seem that their beers seem to be getting the recognition that others seem to be getting. I mean, I could talk about Fuller's all day long. Brilliant brewery. Pressure Drop, a really good brewery. Colonel, a really good brewery. Another London-based brewery. Some fantastic breweries in London, but they don't seem to be quite getting their name out there. Well, not for me anyway. Pressure Drop I love. Fuller's I love. Colonel I've not had much by, but the beers I have had have been really good. But the consistent brewers seem to be ones out of the area. And the first brewery that comes to mind is Arbor. I love everything they do. They do pint cans with the matte finish on the can like Lords do. Big pint cans of really good beer, and that always sells it for me. If you're making a good beer and you're giving it in a generous size, win-win. Just have some collab beers with Cloudwater. Cloudwater are a really good brewery. Really good brewery. Charlotte says they're talking to the head brewer. Fantastic. Oh, we were talking to the head brewer, yeah. Yeah, we're trying to sort something out. So if you get some of their beers, you'll have to let us know what they're like. When we come over, we'll go down to Virginia. Road trip.
All the comments. Where do you think Spurs will finish this season? last comment or last question.
Where are we going to finish? Where are we going to finish? 5th. I think we'll miss out. We'll miss out on top 4. I think. But I think Chelsea. I think Chelsea will nick their way into the top 4. I think we'll just miss out this season. I think that form over Christmas and New Year has cost us.
Harry Kane stay or go?
Do I reckon what?
Harry Kane stay or go?
Blimey, I don't know who's going to be able to afford him with the way the market is at the moment. If Harry Kane was to go, it'd have to be a world record fee. It'd have to be. And I don't know anyone who's in a position right now to spend £200 million plus on a footballer. I think it'd be really stupid for a club to do that. So,
but I suppose if Harry Kane goes into the office and says, "I want to go," not that I could see that happening because he seems like that's his job.
If Harry was to request a transfer, if he was to say, "Look, I want to go," then it would force Tottenham's hand a little bit. But Daniel Levy, the Tottenham chairman, is notoriously the hardest chairman in football to deal with, and I don't think he'd care. He'd be like, "Okay, fine, we'll let you go. Someone matches the £250 million transfer fee or whatever that we're asking, then fine, you can go. We won't stand in your way." I don't think that will change the money side of things. If he goes, then yeah. I think all that means is that there's a conversation to be had. I don't think he'll go. Not yet, anyway. Maybe another year. If we've still not won anything, then I think he might be thinking, "Do you know what? Now's the time to go." But we could still win 2 trophies this season. We've got the Carabao Cup final in a few weeks, and we've got 1 foot in the Europa League quarterfinals. So you never know.
Do you think that's enough for Harry Kane? Yeah.
I think so. I think if he were to win 2
especially the Carabao Cup, like, is that enough for him?
Possibly not the Carabao Cup, but you never know. You never know. If he wins a trophy and then we go and win the Europa League, we win 2 trophies and we're playing Champions League football next season because we win the Europa League. You never know. You never know.
Messi to Man City, will it happen?
I hope so. I'd love to see Messi in the Premier League. He's the best footballer I've ever seen. I would love to be able to watch him on a weekly basis. That'd be awesome. Really would.
Would you go watch him then?
I would, yeah. I would.
Except from, say, a Spurs game, if West Ham are still in the Premier League, I'm not sure what. Would you go if you're?
I would. Yeah. I would. If they're playing in London, they're playing at Fulham or something. If they were still there, I'd buy a ticket quite happily. Go watch Messi. He's
what about Arsenal? Would you go watch them?
No. You couldn't force me to get in that shithole. No chance. Scumbags. No, I'm not putting money in their pockets. No chance. But yeah, everyone should go watch Messi. If you like football, everyone should go watch Messi. He's a joy to watch. He really is. I watched him play for Barcelona against us in the Champions League 2 years ago, and he was incredible. Absolutely incredible. It was like a dad playing against a load of kids. Do you know what I mean? He was just better than everyone else on the field by a mile. He was toying with us. He was that good. Yeah.
600 million is it a year?
Woo! It's a lot of money. But so is Barcelona. That's why they're so much in debt, because they're paying silly contracts. You know, that's crazy money.
Crazy. You got to think of their size. Is it 125,000 to stadium?
Yeah, but their tickets aren't as expensive as ours are over here. You know, me and Abby, we go to Madrid quite often, and we go to the Bernabeu and go watch football there. We get really good seats in the Bernabeu for 30 quid. It's completely cheaper, totally cheaper than what it is over here to watch football. It's not. It's just a different way. They don't fleece their fans in Europe like they do over here. It's Barcelona aren't making that money back on ticket sales. They only put the prices up for the Champions League games.
Yeah. I suppose. Have you any questions? I'm done.
No, I'm good, mate. I'm good to go. That was good. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Suppose thanks for all the people who watched. Any of the comments? I'm sorry, I'm still useless clicking through the comments. I'm more interested in the person.
That was good fun. That was good fun. I appreciate that. I enjoyed that.
Okay. Thanks, Taylor. See you, everyone, and bye.
Cheers, Thomas. See you guys.
To a broadcast.